Welcome back to game number 2, everybody. My name is Mr. Llama, and this is SCS versus Imp, Starcraft 2 strategy versus Impulse Clan War, best of 7. And Suzy's asking, are you Duster or Magicai? Because they have sent out iMpKnighter, and he says, I'm Knighter. I don't know why you're asking about these other ones. And so apparently Suzy thought that maybe Duster or somebody was smurfing or had a different account. But nope, this is going to be Impulse's Knighter, and we'll have to see what exactly he can do. It's going to be a PvP, and Suzy, who just had a very strong Blink Stalker all-in the last TvP on Cloud Kingdom, which, I mean, it's just such a great map for that Blink Stalker all-in, is now going to be playing cross-map Antigua. And I would not be surprised if we see a Blink Stalker all-in yet again, possibly out of Suzy, maybe out of Knighter, because look at this map. Look at all the room you have to blink into that main base, and then it's the same idea. The units have to move all the way out here, and they have to move all the way back here, and it's such a difficult map for any unit, not a Blink Stalker, to really move around on. And Knighter's asking if it was a 4-gate blink last game, because I suppose he's curious if she's going to do it again. And Knighter apparently approves, because it's Cloud Kingdom. Why wouldn't you 4-gate Blink Stalker all in, I suppose? I bet that's T's have bad breath. So Knighter's not a big fan of the Terran race. And look at this, no gas, very late gas, excuse me, for Suzy right there. So 15 taken. I don't know if that's because of the talking or what, but that was like a 15-16 gas taken way late. I guess not too late, but decently late. Late in the 15 supply. And in the meantime, Knighter taking a gas here as well. And I mean, PvP, both players starting out, you know, very, very basic, very standard openers right here. Going to get their gates, their cybernetics core, their single gas. The thing that we look for is who takes the fast second gas versus... oh, okay, yeah. So I'll go over that in a second. Who takes the first second gas, and there it is right there. So Suzy's going to be taking the second gas, and yes, that's exactly right what White Wing's talking about. Why is Suzy building the buildings over here? And that is because of the cannon rush that was made infamous by Galsy, the Protoss player who cannon rushes every single game. And I mean, like, every game, just about. He always cheeses. At the very least, it's a cannon rush. And I think he's in, like, Masters or Grand Masters or something like that. Something silly. But, yeah, so he just cannon rushes, and he's, like, perfected the cannon rush. And so what he would do on Antigua, of course, is come down here, and they'd, you know, get a cannon up over here. He'd, like, wall himself in like that, get a cannon. And then he'd go up top, and he'd drop cannons up here and stuff. So by building this wall right here, Suzy can actually stop the cannon from going up. So it looks like we're possibly going to have a 3-stalker rush here out of Suzy, or 3-stalker opener. You could call it rush, you could call it opener, whichever. And yep, that's exactly what we'll see. And on the other side, Knighter just opening up with Zealot Stalker, and then another Zealot and a Proxy Robo. So is it going to be Warp Prism play? Very possible. Or is it going to be some sort of Immortal all-in with these units, which is something else that I've seen. But I believe it was against a Terran player that I saw that. But it was a proxied robotics facility. They made 2 to 3 Immortals, and then they pushed out with this like 4-gate army. And there's the 4 gates. Yep. So it's going to be a 4-gate, and I guess they were saying Warp Prism in the chat, so it's possible they know their player a little bit better. So it could be the Warp Prism. And what did I say before? We might be seeing the same thing out of Suzy again. And it looks like we're going to be seeing 3-gate Blink Stalkers. But the problem is he's going to have to deal with 4-gate Robo with the Warp Prism. So that could be very difficult to deal with. And actually, another gateway and another Robo. So it's going to be 4-gate Robo versus 4-gate Robo. One player is getting the robotics facility for the Warp Prism. The other player is getting the robotics facility for the Observer, for the Blink Stalkers. And either way, there's no sentries going up. There we go, actually. As I say that, I lied. There is a sentry coming up because I do believe Suzy Suzy doesn't scout. But Suzy got a little worried, I suppose. So Suzy wanted to be able to deal with the ramp right here. And is there going to be any way to deal with it, or is the sentry going to go down? It will get the force field in time. So as the warp prism comes in with these zealots right here, that's going to be dropping off. The blink stalkers will be able to get over there in time to kind of deal with this. Another sentry's out, gets another force field down. So this is done very well by Suzy for holding that. But Suzy needs to be careful not to walk all of the stalkers over into nothing, able to pick off the warp prism at the very least, but she trapped herself, or he trapped himself in a tiny little gap right there, and this is not looking good for Suzy at all now as Knightr just moves right up into the map, right up into the base, excuse me, and there is not too much at all for Suzy. Suzy has a couple sentries trying to tear away at these stalkers, gonna get one stalker it looks like, but that's it. Suzy is gonna have to GG out right there. And wow, where were all of Suzy's units is my question. I guess they just got picked off. Wow, yes they did. Look at the resources lost right there. 26 units lost versus the 3. So Suzy losing a lot of units trying to go for that warp prism. Put himself in a terrible position right there, trapping himself kind of behind everything while the zealots tore away at his army. And that was a very fast game, and that's going to be it. So Knight's going to even this up 1-1 now with a 4-gate warp prism all in of his own, and we are going to move into game number 3.